All right, good night, everyone. Good night as we actually get this party started tonight on yet another um, night where Done Order the Law is live on YouTube and live on TikTok. So let's give it a few minutes because we're just, it's 7:02 p.m. and we're looking forward to an exciting evening. Right? So welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's share. I see where we're just going up. The numbers are increasing. So let's share the live so others can join in and get a part of the knowledge to be shared. All right. You saying the network is bad? Zach, TikTok. What's the network like? Is it good? Is it bad? Let me know what's going on. So on YouTube, Zach, you're saying that the net is bad. Just to confirm again, it is still bad. Yeah? Ooh, not sure what's the cause of that. So I'm assuming it's lagging significantly. Okay, YouTube is choppy. Hmm. I wonder what's the cause of that. I think maybe I should restart it. All right, let me see if it kind of balances itself out in a few um, and get things going. TikTok, what is it like? Is it live okay? Is it choppy? Is what's going on? Let me know. 'Cause YouTube is having issues in terms of it's doing better. Okay, great. All right, so you know, so anyone on people on TikTok, confirm for me how the live is going. Is it choppy? Um, Let me know if everything is clear so we can actually get things going. Our live is good over TikTok. Okay, noted. All right. Yes, Dr. Phil Entertainment, indeed. Um, all right, so we're gonna give it another 2 minutes or so. Let others be aware of what's going on, and then we get things started. So tonight, as we before we ease into the topic for the night, tonight we're going to be looking at an update on this gigantic, because I can't describe it as anything but that, on this gigantic lawsuit against the state and against Inspector Bryan in a personal capacity. That's important. All right. As well as we're going to be looking at again tonight, because I don't know if anyone is following the news media, that's the general media, where the commissioner of police has actually come out and addressed, well, he himself, as I ease into it, he gave somewhat what I can will only describe as an opening remark as it relates to the police power to stop and or stop and search. So we are going to be diving into that tonight. I'm going to yeah, we're going to be looking at that and those two things. Stop and search. We'll look at the commissioner's perspective. We'll look at all of what's going on and what he said. All right. So I'm gonna go mute for a minute. Stay tuned. Lots of us on TikTok so far. I know it will only build up. We will be done here tonight by 8. We're not exceeding the 1 hour mark. So yes, stay tuned. A lot to be updated on tonight. Exciting things are happening. I swear, exciting things are happening. All right. So let's share in another minute. I'm gonna go grab my water as I forget that, and I'll be right back. No, hunt me. Hunt MC. I'm not from Montego Bay. All right, so let's go. So welcome again, viewers, subscribers, to Dunn Audit the Law on YouTube and on TikTok. It is indeed a pleasure to have your company on a Saturday evening, 7:10 p.m. That's our usual time, 7:10 p.m. Dunn Audit the Law live, where we look at the law, a comprehensive audit of the law, where I strive to share my understanding of the law, which comes from case law, which is the common law, the written letter of the law, and my own experience in arguing the law in the court. Now, it's important for us to understand that nothing that is said on this or these platforms constitute or should be taken to constitute legal advice. For those who don't know what legal advice is something that requires you to go to an attorney, sign your agreements, create your attorney client relationship, and then you obtain your legal advice. All right? So nothing that is said on this platform should be constituted or constructed or taken in any way or form to be legal advice. It constitutes nothing but information. The author of this platform has taken every single step to ensure that every single bit of information that is conveyed, save and except where the author states expressly that the information is from his own opinion, constitutes what is the reflection of the law in Jamaica today. All right, so with that said, let's get into it. Welcome to everyone. Welcome to everyone. I see we're all here. Let's get going. So tonight, as I said, we're going to be looking at an update on the case and the Commissioner of Police, who has recently come out swinging. We're going to start with the Commissioner of Police. Now, I filed a lawsuit, a mega lawsuit, on the 4th of September of this year. This lawsuit was filed in the High Court, the Civil Division of the Supreme Court. And in that suit, I challenged several things. It's not. So, one of the things that triggered this lawsuit, if you all recall, are the actions of Inspector Marsell Bryan, whom somehow, because he believes he wears khaki pants, he seems to not be wearing it anymore, but because he's permitted, it appears that because he is permitted to wear khaki pants and shirt, that he believes that ordinary citizens are to bow to his will and to just obey everything he has to say because he is somehow a god. He is somehow the crown. He is somehow boss of me or of any citizen. But I want to remind people like Inspector Bryan and Inspector Bryan himself that the rights that were conveyed to us as Jamaicans were not rights that were conveyed by virtue of statehood. It was not because the crown or parliament felt that it wanted to give us some rights while we got them. Those rights that we gained and were secured in the Constitution of Jamaica and other documents were conveyed to us, secured for us by virtue of blood, sweat, and tears of our ancestors. These rights are not rights that came as a result of statehood. Parliament did not just willingly give us these rights. Our foreparents had to fight for them. And that should be enough for any agent of the state to understand that to infringe on any of these constitutionally protected rights of Jamaicans, you must have reasonable or probable cause. You cannot just arbitrarily, as you like, based on punch, based on personal whim, based on feelings, say that because an act of parliament gives me a power, I can use it as I like. I will borrow the words of Justice Batts in the case of Hemans versus the Attorney General 2013, where in the last paragraph, Justice Batts reminded the Attorney General of the state, send a copy of that ruling to the Commissioner of Police then and to Indicom and said, I'm not quoting, he said that the fight against crime will be lost because research, evidence has shown that if the rights of citizens are not respected, that the fight against crime will be lost. And we don't know if anybody who can prove otherwise. So unlike in Canada, where some people like to say, oh, the police in Canada can stop you arbitrarily and do. There's no provision, not even a Jamaican statute that allows that. Yes? None. The Road Traffic Act doesn't allow arbitrary stop. And Canadians do not have a constitutional right to freedom of movement like Jamaicans. Canadians did not gain the constitutional rights to privacy, etc., because they fought and they shed blood, sweat, and tears. That wasn't how they got it. It was as a result of Parliament or Crown conveying those rights. So let us stop trying to compare Jamaica to some other countries that did not have the same reality that Jamaica had. Did not have the same experiences that Jamaica had. Jamaica is a free and democratic society. And members of the police force, agents of the state, police and otherwise, the rights of Jamaicans did not come just so. So, as a result, that came this mega lawsuit. If you ask me, I have not seen all the records, but this is probably the largest lawsuit, consolidated lawsuit for those attorneys on this platform and those who are legally minded on this platform. When I use the word consolidated lawsuit, you must know what I mean. This lawsuit is so thick that the particulars of claim, though concise and brief paragraphs, is 23 pages long. You know why? Because I combined 7 different interactions with the police and create a giant lawsuit. A mega one. One that should have the effect of forcing the state to listen. Because the police, when a one man can present so many, it stands as allegation right now, but I can prove them all. Yes? Against the state. 7 of them. I have more than that, but I'm just using that amount right now. Yeah? Strategic reasons. When one person can put a claim together with 7 different unlawful interactions with members of the constabulary force, it is an indictment on the force. Yes? It is an indictment. Now, the claim was filed on the original claim was filed on the 4th of September. And an amendment when the court term opened on the 17th of September. Yeah, the court term, this high court term starts on the 16th of September this year. That's this recent term. So the day after, I filed an amended claim which offered the clarity. Granted, the original one was done within 24 hours. And so I had time to expand and spell out and make sure it says there's no blank shot. No, the regular claim, the claim in itself was okay. So in this claim, I did something that you might not have heard of in this country before. I sued Inspector Bryan in a personal capacity. Yes, a personal capacity. Because he deserves to be sued in a personal capacity. He deserves it. Evidently, Inspector Bryan was not acting in accordance with the force orders and or the law. Evidently. I can say that without reservation. So, by us merely acting outside of the law, how I draft this lawsuit, don't know the law fans. I pleaded the case. In can't miss him going to get him own lawyer. Right now, yes, people, the Attorney General acknowledged receipt of the claim. That's the original claim. And they stated that they will be the one defending him. That's what they normally do. They will tend to, at times, acknowledge the claim. And then, I wanted to go down into the nitty-gritty of what they tend to do. But many times, they either can't find the officers or one story as to why they can't give you file a defense. But yes, they filed an acknowledgement of service on the same 17th of September. They served me a copy of the acknowledgement of service, acknowledging that I served the original claim, and in that same breath, they stated that they will be the attorneys on record defending Inspector Bryan. Then, the same day, I dropped the amended claim and make them see that they cannot be Inspector Bryan's attorney because he was sued in a personal capacity. How them supposed to know that? Hear the words of use. And for any attorney on here, listen, because I know many of you have seen the claims when the court record when the judgments are published. You all don't plead the cases to make sure that these constables are held personally liable also. But yes, Jamaica law permits it. There is case law which I will not quote right now because I'm in an active lawsuit and I will hold on to that for now. But there is case law that says expressly that if you plead, and this is how you must plead them. Anyway, I said, hear the words. 1 second. At all material time, Marsell Bryan acted on his own behalf or alternatively as a servant or agent of the state or crown. Keywords. Once you plead that, any sensible person who know law knows it. Personal liability is being pleaded here. And evidence of him acting outside of force policy and or the law will prove that he acted in a personal capacity. But you have to plead those words in your pleadings. All right? Now hear what else now. Here the other words them know we have to use now in the pleadings. Don't know the law fans. Lots of us are here. Over 100 of us are on both platforms. All right? Here the other words them that you have to use to make sure him hold liable. For the court, there's no mistake in it. that each defendant is jointly and severally liable for the total amount of damages suffered by the claimant, because defendants acted together with a shared purpose or plan. The harm to the claimant resulted from the combined actions of the defendants, making each defendant liable for the entire extent of the damages. And the claimant, here the key one, and the claimant cannot apportion the specific harm caused by each defendant, as their actions are intertwined and collectively resulted in the harm. And in the final one, that is important to pleading personal liability, viewers and subscribers, that the first defendant was acting within the scope of his employment or authority with the second defendant, or in concert with the second defendant in taking the actions as pleaded herein below. So when Marsell, Bryan, and him is a constable friend them, when I like respect people rights, me tend to tell them, I know someone hear it many times. I said to constables, I don't know who I deal with. When I see one little man drive on like a Tida, I want to tell myself, say, a Tida man, I'm going to start prejudice, I'm going to start judging, I don't know nothing about him. Just like you have some people on the platform here trying to draw me out and asking my questions. I will answer questions that I wish to answer. Yes? Who I am, you can use deduction and try to figure out who I am. Yes? But I'm not interested to share too much of who I am on the platform. I'll share as much as I wish to, but you can deduct. But people who like to judge people based on what they look at Warren Buffett. What does he drive? His old Volvo from back then. Where does he live? In his old house from back then. Again, the judge him and say, "Man, a billionaire?" No, come on now. Yes? You all tend to, a lot of the constables and other people on a whole, like to judge people and, based on what they are seeing in front of them. Face value, and don't want to understand who you're dealing with. But you, Marsell, Bryan, unless you somehow come find a settlement with me to some agreeable terms, you, Marsell, Bryan, and company, because a whole heap of you, will be the first, as far as I can tell, to test a constable being held jointly and severally liable. Come on, guys, go Google that on again, see how we'll work on that. So that's keyword, jointly and severally liable for all of the damages. Yes? So, when this precedent is set, I bet you see the changes now how the police operate. Because no police are going to say, Jesus, we can be held liable personally out of we want to pocket for the money. So, we're going to make sure we respect the people and rights just like how the Constitution and the law requires it. Yes? So, as I said, several interactions. Some of the other constables, I know all I want in the case here. I know all I want. So, but 7 different interactions created this claim. So you see when we plead for punitive damages, 7 different abuse, 7 different instances of abuses, which makes it, I have made 7 claims become 1. You understand what I want? So when you normally find 7 different claims, I use rule 7 point. What the rule again? Rule 7 point. I think it's rule 7 point. Hold on, I quote. Hold on. Sometimes I remember all the rules and I quote. So for those viewers who are trying to learn every little bit they can, and they say, Mr. Dunn, so you do that? You put 7 different cases in one case. It is pursuant to Civil Procedure Rule 8.3. Okay? The matters are connected, the parties are connected, and therefore it can be conveniently disposed of. That's the principle. They can be conveniently disposed of as one. All right? That's one of the powerful things of claim form. You compile everything and create one giant indictment. Now, the commissioner was served. He was served this claim form on the said 17th of September. He got his copy. I make sure I get stamped, signed documents. So nobody not tell me so they never get it here. But the commissioner was named as an interested party to this claim. He's not a defendant to the claim. All right? Marsell Bryan is first defendant, and the Attorney General of Jamaica is second defendant. So, guys, remember now, for those who are just joining, the game is on. We expect nothing more than delay tactics to be used, and I expect that the Attorney General, remember this day when I said, I expect that the parties to this claim are going to use delay tactics and most likely try to use applications to strike out, but me there for them. Because they might judge me, and I say, I have defended application to strike out. More times than they can understand. Think about me as a man in disguise, okay? They don't know me that well, they don't know of me that much, and they judge you, they enter the playing field, and then get their neck broke. Not literally, but you know. Mm-hmm. So, the commissioner was served and is named in the claim as an interested party, and the regulars. Marsell Bryan is first defendant, but remember now, Marsell Bryan have to go look him on a lawyer because of this amended claim. He's going to have to go seek his own attorney. Attorney General can't defend him. All right? They can't defend him. Because now I sued him. I pleaded that he is to help, that he acted on his own behalf or alternative as an agent of the crown. Now, if the Attorney General Department wants to say, no, he acted on our behalf, then, but whatever, he will need to file a defense to it himself. So as I said, it's 7 different cases combined in a one. 23 pages of particulars of claim, okay? That because of 7 different combined in one. So one giant lawsuit that, okay? Got it, gentle people? All right. So I served the commissioner of police on the same day, the 17th. And the next day, an article came out, news media. It was a forum on YouTube who pointed it out first. And I went looking and I saw the article online. The commissioner came out and said he is seeking legal advice on the police powers under the basically Road Traffic Act, on the Road Traffic Act stop and search. So we can go on the RGR. I don't know any of you on